What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on the second studio album from Lil Pump called Harverd Dropout. Now, Lil Pump is a rapper who's coming out of Florida, and I would say he's a very divisive artist who really shows us the difference between the old school and the new school. If you're someone who really likes music that has lyrics, depth, content, interesting flows, and stuff like that, you're not going to like him. But if all you want is repetitive bars, filthy-ass bangers, and some of the worst, dumbest lyrics you'll ever hear in your life, then hey man, this is gonna be right up your alley. Now, you can't deny the success he's had, because a couple years ago he came out with Gucci Gang, which put up crazy numbers regardless of how you feel about his music, and he has had some other pretty big songs since then as well, including I Love It with Kanye. That was one of the singles from off of this project. I never liked it when I heard it then, and I still don't, because this really just shows you what you're going to get from Pump's music. You know, the beat does have a bit of bang to it, you can work with it for that, but as far as the content and the rapping goes, it is just god-awful. Even Kanye is on here just saying he's a sick fuck who likes a quick fuck for about half of his verse. And I get it. I'm not saying that you expect every rapper to come through with great content and interesting bars. Obviously, that's not what you're expecting from Lil Pump, but even throughout this album, he is just boring to me to listen to. If you're gonna do this simple content, at least have an interesting rap style, be funny, be clever, or have something engaging about what you do, but Lil Pump is just not doing that. As I said, it gets overly repetitive with the bars. Even the hooks are often just the same thing repeated over and over with very little thought or effort put in. And there are just plenty of dumb-ass bars and content on this, man. Really, much of this project is just him bragging about how he's a drug addict who likes to pay for pussy. That comes up multiple times on here, about his prostitutes, about how he's a drug addict, his homies are drug addicts, he does Xan, this, that, the other thing. I mean, that's nothing new. A lot of rappers do rap about women in this way and rap about drugs, but I think you can put a spin on that, make it interesting somehow with the narrative or the concept or the storytelling, just something. All these things Lil Pump just doesn't do, and even though we don't expect him to be a great rapper, I don't think that makes him free from being critiqued. I feel like we live in this day, no, we live in a society, to, you know, throw back to my old headness, we just live in a time where if you want even average lyricism from somebody, all of a sudden you're a hater, you're old, you're out of touch, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm not saying he's gotta, you know, solve world hunger and deliver world peace. I'm just saying, just rap a little bit better, man. Give us some better flows, some more interesting vocal performances. Say some shit that's gonna make me laugh, maybe. Say something that's clever. Just do something that is interesting, and you're really not getting that here. Honestly, this is some of the worst rapping I think I've heard in my life from somebody who, you know, is put up on this pedestal. He's on beat at least, but even still with the rapping, I think it's just really bad. So this is one of those projects where really it's the production that does much of the work. There's certainly some nasty ass bangers on here. I thought Millionaire with Uzi and Nuh-Uh had some great beats on them. You're certainly getting some nice bass patterns, heavy bass rolls, whatever you want to say throughout this project. So it does work for that purpose. I understand the appeal here. It's just to get some ignorant shit going on, get your trunks thumping, maybe have a party and enjoy life. I get it. There's certainly a place for that in hip hop. I do like tracks like that once in a while, but when it's a full album where the rapping is just bad, nothing of interest or importance is being said at all, it's really hard for me to praise it, because I can give props to the producers for what they've done, and Lil Pump certainly has his own aesthetic just as far as how he looks. You know what Lil Pump is known to do. Like, I get all of that. I get his appeal, as I said, but it's still not anything that I can really praise. I'm not really too excited about this. Like, one example that really stuck out to me comes on Vroom, 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 where he's actually making car sounds and other noises as if he's a toddler who's just playing with his dinkies by himself while his mom ignores him and smokes a cigarette because he's annoying as fuck. There's plenty of bad moments on here as far as bars and content, what he's saying. I've said it multiple times, but I can't stress that enough. It's just very repetitive, bottom tier rap. And unfortunately, I was surprised to find out that the features on this didn't do much to help either. On the song Stripper Name, for example, you got 2 Chainz, he's alright on here, nothing great, certainly not a great 2 Chainz verse. But then you got YG on here, just reminding us that ever since Still Brazy, he has become one of the worst rappers and features that's out there. Now, I know some people didn't like Still Brazy. When I was talking about this on Twitter, people were saying to me, basically alluding to how that wasn't that great of an album, but I thought his rapping on there was much better because he was delivering content, getting into a lot of different topics. The production was better too, just to throw that out there. But even still, I think he had a message and a lot to say on there while still keeping it fun and gangsta, which is what really made that project work. But that project he dropped after, I think it was called Stay Dangerous, that was just brutal. All his features these days are brutal. And he's on this song here saying, and I don't do doo-doo, so I don't do the butt. Boom shakalaka boom, noises from the room when I do what I do. Just really bad bars. Like, he's not even trying at this point, so he was one of the worst ones on here. You have Quavo showing up on Too Much Ice, being one-dimensional as usual, fitting right in with Pump, just talking about nothing interesting or important whatsoever. I mentioned Kanye as well. So there are plenty of features on here that don't even help make this album better. So as bad as Pump is, it's not like the features are that great. Really, the only feature on here I thought was nice was Wheezy on Be Like Me, because it kind of sounded like vintage Wheezy. Starts off a little bit of that auto-tuning, but he gets in some really nice flows. I thought he was rapping his ass off on here, and he's coming through with some pretty good content about how he's made a bunch of mini-me's, and just about the impact and influence he's had on the game. It's undeniable. Lil Wayne has been out there for years. A lot of people have followed his style as far as how he looks, as far as how he raps, his auto-crooning, everything. Certainly a pioneer in the game, so I did respect that. And I think his verse was honestly the highlight of this whole project, man. This was not a very good project. As I said, some of the beats on here are really good. There are some other ones that aren't as good, like ION, which sounds like a walrus just fucking around on FL Studio with his flippers, like, just putting together some really awful shit. There's some forgettable beats on here. Honestly, there's just not too much more to be said about this one. I took a couple notes, but mostly, as this is called a rant review, I've just been ranting and just going off the top of my head with my thoughts about this one. So I'm going to go with a 1 out of 5, because you know what? A lot of the times I'll go with 1.5 or 2 just to show love to the producers and say that production's pretty good, because they certainly have paid their dues. They've done what they were supposed to do on this project. I appreciate that, but I can't just give too many more brownie points for that. I'm sort of tired of doing that, because as much as the beats might be good, if you're not doing much to uplift the beats or do anything fun, clever, interesting, unique, or exceptional, there's not too much for me to get excited about. And I just think Pump really is one of the worst rappers out there right now. If you like it, that's fine. I understand you just want some ignorant dumb shit to turn up and party with. It's cool, I get it. I do like some of that stuff, but I just like when there's a bit more of an interesting spin on it, and you know, I really wasn't getting that at all. So anyway, that's my rant on this one. That's all I got to say. 1 out of 5. Lil Pump, Harvard Dropout. I mean, obviously he's not really trying here. Obviously being stupid and ignorant kind of seems to be one of the things that he pushes and puts out there, just with the content. It's things he said before about not being able to read, being on social media, other things that he's done. You can really see that it's almost like that's what he's pushing. I don't know how much of that is really who he is. It might be. Like, I don't follow Lil Pump that closely, but I just know that, you know, he sort of puts this on out there, not just in his music, but on social media and other places. So I don't know, man. I'm not too into that. You like it, enjoy it. That's all I got to say. I'm going to wrap up because now I'm just rambling. So let me know in the comments section what you think. Make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.